All right, let's jump right in. For accounting firms these days, just getting the numbers right, that's just the starting point. It's not enough anymore. We're seeing this massive shift away from simple compliance work and toward creating a truly incredible client experience. And the key to unlocking that? Well, it might just be something you haven't thought about in quite this way before.
So let's start with a really important question, something to really think about. Are your clients just satisfied, or are they genuinely, truly loyal? Because, there's a huge difference between a client who sticks around because it's easy and one who stays because they see you as a completely essential part of their team. And this lays it out perfectly. The old way, it was all about providing numbers and reports when asked, reactive. But today, clients expect so much more. They want insights, they want strategy. They're not just looking for a service provider, they want a proactive partner who's totally focused on helping them win.
And that brings us right to the heart of the challenge, the new client expectation. Let's really dig into what clients are demanding now, stuff that goes way beyond the balance sheet.
Here's the breakdown. Of course they want fast turnarounds. That's a given. But it's more than that. They want you looking around the corner for them, giving proactive advice. They need you to take all that complex financial jargon and make it simple, make it actionable. And, at the end of the day, they want to sleep at night knowing their compliance is absolutely buttoned up.
So, if we know what clients are asking for, why is it so darn hard for so many firms to actually deliver it? Well, the answer usually comes down to what we can call the internal team bottleneck.
And wow, this chart just says it all, doesn't it? It visualizes the problem so clearly. A huge 75%, 3/4 of a typical accountant's day can be completely eaten up by compliance and admin work. That leaves this tiny little slice, just 25% of their time, for the high-value, strategic work that clients actually want. And here's the bottom line. Your best people, your most experienced experts, the ones who could be giving that game-changing advice, are totally buried under a mountain of routine, execution-heavy tasks. All that potential is just locked away.
But what if you could just flip that equation on its head? This is where we bring in the strategic outsourcing shift. It's all about freeing up your experts to focus on what really truly matters, your clients.
Now let's be super clear on what this means. Strategic outsourcing is not about replacing your amazing team. No way. It's about empowering them. It's about smartly delegating all that routine, compliance-heavy work so your internal experts can finally do what they do best: analysis, strategy, and advising clients.
The logic here is so simple and so powerful. Step 1, you delegate the routine stuff. Step 2, boom, that instantly frees up your internal team's time and, just as importantly, their brainpower. Which leads to step 3, now they can actually deliver that proactive, high-touch service that clients are desperate for.
Okay, I know exactly what you're probably thinking right now, because it's the elephant in the room, right? The big question that always comes up. Wait a minute, if I hand this work off, isn't quality or accuracy going to suffer? And look, that is a totally valid concern. And here's the answer. The source material is very direct about this. These professional outsourced teams, they aren't just winging it. They are specifically trained to follow your firm's guidelines, your processes. This is what ensures consistency and maintains the exact same high-quality results your clients have come to expect.
All right, so the theory sounds good, but what does this actually look like day to day? Let's check out outsourcing in action and see how it really transforms the client experience in a few key service areas.
First up, let's look at one of the most critical parts of any firm: transforming tax compliance.
Just look at this before and after. On the left, you've got that stressful last-minute scramble we all know, your team just drowning in research. But on the right, filings are timely, they're accurate, and that internal bottleneck, it's gone. Now your team has the space to have those proactive, strategic conversations with clients, and that's where the real value is.
Next up, let's talk about the audit process, something that, let's be honest, can be a huge source of anxiety for clients. The difference here is all about how the client feels. Instead of unpredictable delays and a ton of stress, outsourcing the tedious testing and documentation work leads to predictable timelines and a much, much smoother experience. This frees up your senior staff to focus on high-level risk assessment and talking with the client, which is where they should be.
And for our last example, let's touch on something that has to be absolutely perfect every single time: payroll.
Nothing makes a client more frustrated than payroll errors. By outsourcing, you go from a world of potential mistakes and compliance worries to a world of total confidence. The processing is accurate, it's on time, and that builds incredible trust.
It also opens the door for your team to give strategic advice on things like benefits packages.
So when you start to add all this up, the transformations in tax, in audit, in payroll, you get to the ultimate goal, the real ROI of this whole strategy. You become that trusted advisor.
This is what it all comes down to, right here. With their plates cleared of all that routine work, your team can get back to clients faster. They can finally take the time to dig into the financials, offer personalized planning, and most importantly, they have the bandwidth to build those strong, trust-based relationships that turn a satisfied client into a loyal one for life.
So the real kicker, the big takeaway from all this is simple. In today's market, the client experience is everything. It's the ultimate differentiator. It's not just about what you deliver anymore. It's all about how you deliver it. And that leaves us with one final thing to think about. Just take a second and picture your team, all that incredible talent you've brought together. And now just ask yourself this: what amazing value could you build? What could you create for your clients if your best and brightest minds were finally truly free to do their absolute best work?